Hey everyone, this presentation is an explanation of how to use comparatives and superlatives in English. I'm going to start with comparatives. Comparatives are a class of words we use to compare to people, like these two women here, to places, to things, or to actions. And there are four ways we're going to learn how to use comparatives: as adjectives, as adverbs, with less, and with as or not as. We're going to go through these four ways. So comparative adjectives is where we're going to begin. Okay, so first we need to look at how many syllables an adjective has. If an adjective has one syllable, like nice, young, old, new, okay, or two syllables, like happy, silly, funny, and ends in consonant Y, we add ER to the adjective to make a comparison. And then we put the word than after the comparative adjective. So again, when the adjective has one syllable, or when the adjective has two syllables and ends in consonant Y, we add ER to the end of the adjective. For example, Angelina is younger than Jennifer. Young is a one-syllable adjective, so we just add ER to the end. In our second example, Jennifer is prettier than Angelina. Pretty is a two-syllable adjective and ends in consonant Y, so we also add ER to the end. Angelina is slimmer than Jennifer. Slim is another one-syllable adjective, so we again just add ER to the end. But as you notice, we double the final consonant when the adjective ends in vowel and consonant. One more example, Jennifer is funnier than Angelina. Funny is a two-syllable consonant and ends in consonant Y. So again, we add the ER to the end. And of course, with funnier and prettier, we change the Y to an I, like we do when we always change the ending of a word that ends in Y. In these cases, for one syllable and two syllables, it ends in consonant Y. But for every other case, okay, when the adjective has two or more syllables, and of course doesn't end in consonant Y, we put the word more before the adjective. And we never use more in this ER ending together. Okay, so you have to choose one or the other. So, for example, Angelina is more beautiful than Jennifer. Okay, beautiful is a three-syllable adjective, so we're going to simply use the word more before it. A few more examples. Jennifer is more interesting than Angelina. Angelina is more talented than Jennifer. Jennifer is more hardworking than Angelina. So again, in all of these examples, the adjective is quite long, so we use more instead of ER. We have a few irregulars you need to keep in mind. Okay, good becomes better, bad becomes worse, and far, you have the option of using further or farther. They are exactly the same. Okay, further and farther are exactly the same. We can also use comparative adverbs to compare actions. Okay, and to do this, we just simply add the word more before whatever adverb we're using. So, Ronaldo runs more slowly than Messi. Messi scores more frequently than Ronaldo. Ronaldo donates more generously than Messi, and Messi lives more expensively than Ronaldo. Okay. There's a few irregulars here too. Well becomes better, i.e. Messi plays better than Ronaldo. Badly becomes worse. Ronaldo plays worse than Messi, and fast becomes faster. Messi runs faster than Ronaldo. We also have the option of using less plus an adjective or adverb instead of more, just to have some variation in your sentence. But we only do this for adjectives or adverbs that have two or more syllables. So for short adjectives, don't use this form, just for long ones. Angelina is less beautiful than Jennifer. Jennifer is less interesting than Angelina. Ronaldo runs less slowly than Messi, and Messi scores less frequently than Ronaldo. So variation you have. We can also use the as or not as form. We can use the as plus an adjective or adjective or adverb plus as to say two things are equal. San Francisco is as big as Chicago. They're the same size. Michael Jordan is as tall as LeBron James. They're the same height. Beyonce sings as well as Shakira. They're both equally talented. Justin Timberlake dances perfectly as Michael Jackson. They're both really good dancers. Okay. We can use the not as form to say two things aren't equal then, on the other hand. San Francisco isn't as big as Chicago. Michael Jordan isn't as tall as LeBron James. Beyonce didn't sing as well as Shakira in the song. Justin Timberlake doesn't dance as perfectly as Michael Jackson. So let's look at some practice here. And we're going to start with trying to compare Bogota and Medellin. So there's a lot of adjectives down here you can use and practice on your own, but for now we're going to start with one, which is big. So pause your video and write a comparative sentence using big. Here are some possible answers. Bogota is bigger than Medellin. Medellin isn't as big as Bogota. Let's try the same again, this time with sunny. So pause your video and write a comparative sentence with sunny. Here are some possible answers. Medellin is sunnier than Bogota. Bogota isn't as sunny as Medellin. Bogota is less sunny than Medellin. Let's try one more time, this time with expensive. So pause your video and write a sentence. Here are some possible answers. Bogota is more expensive than Medellin. Medellin is less expensive than Bogota. Medellin is as expensive as Bogota. Medellin isn't as expensive as Bogota. Now let's pause the video and write some sentences using comparative adverbs. Okay, this is transmillennial, and this is the bullet train they use in China, the bullet train. Okay, here are some possible answers. The bullet train goes more quickly than transmillennial. The bullet train doesn't go as slowly as transmillennial. The bullet train operates more efficiently than transmillennial. Right, so that was the section on comparatives. Now let's look at superlatives. Maybe you can guess from the pictures that we use superlatives to compare three or more things. Whereas in comparatives, we were just always comparing two things. So if you know how to use comparatives, superlatives are going to be really easy. Okay, so instead of using the ER ending, we use the EST ending for adjectives that are one syllable or two syllables and end in consonant Y. And we use the most for the rest of the adjectives. Example, Mexico City is the biggest city in North America. Mexico City is the dirtiest city in North America. Mexico City is the most diverse city in North America. We have a few irregulars too. Good becomes the best. Bad becomes the worst. Far becomes the furthest or the farthest. So a few more examples. So pause the video and try to write a superlative sentence for each of these three groups: the fruits, the countries, and the South Park kids. Here are some sentences that I came up with. Bananas are the sweetest fruit. Italy is the most romantic country. Cartman is the fattest. We also can vary our speech using this fun sentence, one of the, plus superlative, plus a plural category noun, to talk about special people, places, things, or ideas. Example, Michael Jordan is one of the most talented basketball players, but there are other very talented basketball players, like LeBron James. Mariah Carey is one of the best singers, but there's other really good singers. Yeah, Freddie Mercury is pretty good. Okay, Queen of England is one of the richest women in England. Saudi Arabia is one of the hottest countries on earth. Computers are one of the most important inventions for humanity. So pause your video and try to write one of a sentence like this. Okay? For these three people. Here are my examples. Albert Einstein was one of the most intelligent scientists. Hitler was one of the cruelest leaders. Mother Teresa was one of the most generous nuns. Again, you can try again with Japan and Egypt. Pause the video and try to write a one of the sentence. Here are mine. Japan is one of the most beautiful places. Egypt is one of the most mysterious places. And if you're feeling very confident with this form, you can have a variation, something like Japan and Egypt are two of the most interesting places on planet Earth. Finally, we can use the superlative adjective plus ever plus the present perfect to talk about our experiences. And this is a fun method to add excitement, exaggeration, and drama to your speaking and writing. For example, Dubai is the most expensive city I've ever been to. Titanic is the longest movie I've ever watched. Or he's the most attractive man I've ever seen. And this is a really useful formation for having interesting conversations with people in English. Okay, so if you want to start a fun conversation, you can use some of these examples maybe to elicit an interesting response from someone. Okay, so hopefully you understood everything. You can watch this video as many times as you need. We have compiled a playlist on YouTube of songs with comparatives and superlatives. These are all lyric videos, so if you want to see some use of comparatives and superlatives in songs, go ahead and give those a listen. We also have a link that you'll need to copy and follow. It's a Drive link that when you open it, you'll see a quiz that you need to take. It's a really nice quiz. And you can check your answers. Well, I won't show you the answers, but you can check the answers after you take the quiz to test your knowledge. Okay. So that's it for the presentation. You're the best, and I hope you learn a lot about comparatives and superlatives.